trap, but Lu thinks that if the witch of the region wants to welcome them, she will take her invitation. She uses her staff to sense and defuse all the traps in the cave, but Kudo is still not convinced to fight. Lu tries to rile him up by reminding him that he plans to join the Church and Mage army, who do not fear fighting opponents stronger than them. In fact, their leader once defeated and tamed a dragon who destroyed his entire kingdom. She asks Kudo if he wants to be like him or wuss out in the fight, and he chooses the second option. He runs out of the cave but finds Yohei there, who offers the lizard to join him instead because that will help him grow stronger. In response, Kudo asks Yohei about the blood in the cave and demands to know what he did with Hort. Yohei just laughs as he says that he ate the girl and she was quite juicy. This infuriates Kudo, who turns red and blue with rage and tells the tiger that he will definitely kill him. Inside the cave, Seb uses light magic to illuminate the cave, but he can't control his power, and Lu is nearly blinded by the lights. He finally manages to bring the spell under his control, but Lu doesn't stop nagging him for a long time. She says that any witch will want an apprentice like him with infinite power, and that suddenly brings back some forgotten memories for Seb. He falls to his knees as he remembers them, but gets up immediately. Lu tells him that he can return now because going ahead will be dangerous for him, but he is willing to face the dangers to save his friend. Suddenly, from a door deep inside the cave, some tentacles shoot towards Seb and grab him. Lu tries to help him, but then her staff is pulled away from her. Dan arrives there instantly and kicks Lu right into the room with Seb. As the door closes, he tells Lu that she should have killed him the moment she suspected him. Seb soon gets up to see another witch in front of him. She releases a soothing blue light all around her, and with one look, Seb recognizes her as the witch who rescued him from his lonesome life. The witch calls him, saying that she has been waiting for him for a very long time. Seb eagerly asks her who she is, but Lu is suspicious of the new witch. The witch doesn't like her either, and just with a flick of her fingers, she sends her flying. As Seb rushes to Lu's aid, the witch tells him that she is disappointed that his special existence, like his, is surrounded by worthless fools. She suddenly throws Quart's bloodied hat forward, and the distraught Seb asks what she did. The witch says that she let her tiger mercenary eat her, devastating him even further. She claims that she went to great lengths to get him back from Albus, and that included taking control of this village. As Seb thinks this is his fault, the memories of his forgotten past return to him once again. The witch asks him to come to her so that she can take him to a place befitting his level, but he refuses. He says that he was perfectly happy with his friends who treated him well even when everyone thought he was a loser. He tells the witch that he will decide who is worthy of being by his side and judges her unfit for that. He plans to use all his magic in one spell to self-destruct, but just as he begins chanting, Lu suddenly kisses him. Unable to process what is happening, he gives in to her, and after a long and sloppy kiss, Lu feels full of magic energy. She chants the same magic Hort used against Tyron earlier, and shoots a blue flame dragon towards the witch, but she nullifies her magic instantly. The witch proudly tells Lu that she is the creator of that spell, and it is foolish for anyone to wield it against her. She declares that she is the original Witch Zero who wrote the Grimoire of Zero, and Seb realizes that they have no chance against her. As Zero comes towards him, he tries to shield Lu, but surprisingly, no attack comes towards him. Instead, there's confetti flying all around the cave. Zero pokes Seb's nose, telling him that from today on, she is the one who will supervise him in the special training. He is still as clueless as ever, and now even Lu has started praising Zero. Seb looks dumbfounded, so she tells him that this was all a test, and he has passed. Suddenly, Hort comes running towards them, and Seb is relieved to see that she is fine. She hugs him and tells him that their arrival at the village was an elaborate test, and all the villagers were in on it. The blindfolded priest tested her too and asked to remain a spy, but she spat in his face, and being a pervert, he liked it. Dan comes there just then and smacks her for talking shit about him. He returns Lu's sight to her and asks if she knew that this was a test. Lu replies that it was obvious that everything was set up because the house they stayed in was too clean and well stocked, considering that it was abandoned 2 years ago. Just then, Yoda comes there with Kudo, who has passed his test too. Kudo was glad to see his friends alive, and he runs to hug them. At night, the villagers throw a party for the wizards and witches who passed the test. After the party, Zero once again congratulates the 3 students, and Hort asks her why she was trying so hard to fail them. She replies that since they have great talents, she needed to check if they had the character to match their potential. She claims that if they reached their full potential, and then chose to walk on the path of evil, it would bring about a calamity. Zero tells Hort that she has talent that will make her equal to Headmaster Albus in just a few decades. As for Kudo, Zero believes that if he hones his healing magic, he can even become immortal. She then claims that Seb's peak is invisible to even her. Zero claims that because of his infinite magic power, Seb may live for centuries, and if he keeps honing his magic during that time, nothing will be impossible for him. However, she adds that if they neglect their training, they will never be more than third-rate magicians. Zero then explains that they will have to set up their unique stores in the village so that the villagers can easily ask for their help. She wants to tell him more, but then the tiger and the priest interrupt her lecture with food. After that, the three students walk to their homes when Kudo suddenly sees a man riding a dragon in the night sky, and his head glows white as he recognizes the knight who saved his life. He tells his friends about the knight, and they instantly run to meet him. The dragon-riding knight lands in the village and turns out that he is here to deliver some letters to the three students. As Seb and his friends open the letter, they find that they have unrestricted freedom to use their magic as they please now. Everyone is shocked to hear this, even the Dragon Knight, who realizes that this is authorization to engage in battle with the anti-witch faction. They return home after that, and Lou throws a tantrum because she also wanted to see a dragon up close, and this might be her only chance because she plans to set out on a journey now. The students are depressed to hear this, but then Lou tells them that she is not going anywhere until she has read all the books Zero has written, and it will probably take a long time. Everyone is happy to hear this, and they rush to hug her. Later, when Lou and Zero are left alone, Lou confronts her about her weakening magic and expresses concern that she might be trying to get Seb under her wing to steal his magic. Zero tells her a story about a witch who killed Seb's mom in front of him and tried stealing his power. She died of a magic overdose instantly, and this incident left a deep emotional scar on Seb. As a result, he sealed his memories and suffered endlessly after that. So when Zero found him, she decided to send him to the academy to give him a second chance at life. However, she called him here to monitor him in case his powers go out of control. Lou asks Zero by what right she is trying to control Seb's life, and she replies that he is her nephew. This comes as a shock to Lou because Zero's only sibling was the notorious wizard number 13, who stole the grimoire of Zero from her and caused the destructive war. Zero admits that same exceptional wizard is Seb's dad. 2 months have passed since that incident, and the three students have settled into their respective shops now. Court works as a freelancer, fulfilling various requests of the villagers. Kudo uses his healing magic and works as an assistant at the clinic. Meanwhile, Seb runs a magic shop and supplies anyone who needs magic. His biggest customers are his two friends, both of whom come close to climaxing when they receive his magic power. Seb stays at home while his friends leave on his duty, and as he is thinking about how he is getting used to this life, Lou enters the house. She and Lugans have breakfast with Seb, and she lashes out at him for being a shut-in. He says that he needs to stay at home in case anyone needs magic, and on top of that, he does cooking, cleaning, and laundry too. He claims that he feels empty if he doesn't do the house chores, and Lou pities the boy. She climbs on a chair to hug him, and her embrace comforts her strangely, thinking that he needs someone to teach him to be a human. She then decides to send him out of the house for a change and asks him to fetch some tea leaves for her. On the way, he runs into Leos and tells him that he is going to find some tea leaves. The boy claims that he knows where the tea leaves grow and leads Seb to the forest. Seb is uncertain about going deeper into the forest without protection, but Leos runs away on his own. Seb finally finds him hiding on top of a tree, and he asks him to come down. Leos apologizes because he was just lying to him to look cool, and now he has forgotten the way home. Seb starts comforting him, and then a mouse starts chewing his pants. Leos immediately recognizes the mouse as one of Lily's pets and says that they should follow it to get out of the forest. So he and Seb run after the mice and soon arrive at the church. Leos finds his mom waiting there, and she angrily carries him home. Meanwhile, Dan appears behind Seb, oozing a murderous aura. He invites him into the church, and the girl Lily greets him there. Dan tells her to take her hood off, but she refuses because she doesn't want to startle their guest. The priest doesn't listen to her and takes off the hood by force. Lily is embarrassed as her true mouse-like form is exposed in front of Seb, but Dan tells her to stop kicking up a fuss and prepare food for their guest. Lily has low self-esteem because she's a mouse beast folk, but apparently Seb doesn't even understand what the problem with that is. Lily soon brings some food for him, and Dan scolds Seb for going into the forest without being aware of the dangers. He tells him that he will find the tea leaves near Zero's house, but also advises him to come out into the village more often and live like a proper human being. Seb heads out after that and meets Hort on the way. She is surprised to find him outside the house and helps him clean his face after the delicious meal he just had. Seb notices blood on her sleeve, but Hort tells him that it belongs to Yohei and not her. She went to the forest with a mercenary to hunt some wolves, but she panicked on being surrounded. She took too long to chant her spell, and in the end, she hit Yohei instead of the wolves. Hort cries, thinking that she is a failure as a witch, and when Lily takes her away, Lou pops up next to him, saying that they need him to supply some magic. She takes him to Zero, who's trying to stop the mercenaries from bleeding. As soon as Zero sees her nephew Seb, she kisses him Alabama style and absorbs enough magic from him to cast a high-level healing spell on Yohai. He immediately feels better, and the first thing he does is express his jealousy to the boy. Seb then asks Zero if Hort is going to be expelled because of this accident. Neither Zero nor Yohai think that she has done something that makes her unqualified for the training, and they will give her more chances. That reminds Seb of Leo's, and he leaves to meet him to give him another chance to play in the forest. Meanwhile, Zero learns that Lou sent Seb out on an unnecessary errand just to get him out of the house. She complains that she doesn't like him staying shut in the house, but Zero and Yohai have no issues with it. They want to let the boy do whatever he wants, but Lou throws a tantrum that he is made of greater things. Yove leaves for his home, leaving the two witches alone. Lou then asks Zero why she only took a little bit of magic from Seb when she needs more. Zero replies that as Seb's family and supervisor, she cannot take more than she needs from him. Lou says that she will grow old and die at this rate, but Zero has no regrets about that as she has lived long enough already. On the other hand, Kudo has also messed up in his job. He went to a neighboring village to heal some patients and got too carried away. He tried healing all of them at once but passed out midway, and the doctor carried him back home. As he wakes up in his bedroom, he wonders what happened and goes downstairs where his friends tell him the truth. He's embarrassed by what happened, but then learns that Hort messed up even more than him, and they start bickering. Lou arrives there just in time to stop their fight, and then tells them to work hard to improve on their mistakes from tomorrow. She also informs them that all three of them have to visit Zero together tomorrow. The next day, the trio goes to Zero's home where they see her magnificent book collection. She explains that these are just the books she keeps with herself, and the more important ones are hidden in the forbidden library in the north. Hort is really excited to check out the library with her friends in the future, but Kuda says that is a hard pass for him. After the war with the evil witch, many demonic monsters were let out in the north, and they still make it an unsuitable place to live. Zero affirms that, and even Seb drops out of Hort's plan to visit the library in the future. Hort tries to convince them that with Seb's unlimited magic, her attack spells, and Kuda's healing, they will be invincible. Kuda simply replies that he can't trust a witch who attacks her own teammates. As he mentions this, Zero suddenly enters serious mode and tells Hort that she has a special lesson for her, and until she learns how to cancel her spells, she is not going back home. She drags the girl along while Seb discovers an interesting book. Outside, Zero makes Hort attack her and expects her to cancel her spell at the last moment. Hort's spell almost hits her, but she manages to cancel it in time, and Zero says that this is satisfactory for now. She tells Hort to practice by using the same high-level spell to light candles in her home. Hort complains that she doesn't have enough magic, so Zero uses the same amount of magic as her, but the result of her spell is much greater. Zero lectures her about trying new ways to use magic when suddenly she collapses because of magic depletion. The students immediately run to her side, and Seb tries to transfer magic by holding hands. That doesn't work, so he suggests a kiss like yesterday, but Zero says that it is not required. She stands up, still staggering from weakness, and claims that a good meal will help her get better in no time. She collapses once again, but Seb catches her, and that reminds Zero of her brother, the Wizard 13. He takes her to her room and tries sharing magic with her again, but it doesn't work. Seb is confused, but Zero tells him that if she wants, she can suck his magic dry. However, his attention suddenly goes to her eyes, which are an exact replica of his. Seb asks her if she knows her mother by any chance. Zero denies that, but claims that she knew his father. Seb had never even thought that he had a father before now, but before he can ask Zero about it, she points out the book he took from the library. Seb says that he took it to help him gather medicinal herbs, and Zero says that he will have a hard time trying to decode it because of the terrible handwriting. He simply replies that his handwriting is pretty similar, and he can understand it fairly well. Zero reveals that Seb's dad was the one who wrote the book. She claims that he was an unparalleled genius, and there may be secrets hidden in the book that only Seb can decipher. Just then, Yohai comes there running with food and thanks Seb for keeping Zero company. He apologizes for not being able to supply her with magic, and Zero decides to tell him something important. She tells him that the reason he and his friends are here is to develop as magic users, but if he doesn't want to be a wizard and prefers to remain a magic supplier, he has no role here. Soon after that, Seb and Leos enter the forest, and while he is initially dazed, he quickly regains his composure and collects useful herbs with the help of the book. They spot a deer carcass before arriving at a patch of red flowers, which is the main herb they need to collect. While Leos is celebrating their find, Seb feels a sinister presence around him. He looks around and finds a throbbing lump of muscles with spikes protruding from it. He tells Leos to get down, but it is too late, and the throbbing lump shoots the spikes outwards with great force. Seb only suffers some cut wounds, but when he turns around, he finds that Leos has been impaled by a spike. Seb panics upon seeing the boy severely injured. He wants to heal him, but since he has never cast a healing spell successfully before, he decides to take him to the village immediately. Seb limps as he runs while carrying Leos, who starts losing consciousness because of the pain. As Leos blacks out, Seb curses himself for not practicing healing magic. He begs someone to help him when suddenly he hears Lou's voice. Seb looks up to find that Lou is communicating with him using a bird made of magic. She tells him to keep moving ahead because Zero is on her way to the forest, and if he hurries, he can still save the boy. Seb gets up and walks towards the village, praying with every step that he makes it in time. Suddenly, Zero and her mercenary come there. Seb apologizes that he couldn't heal the boy, but Yohei tells him that he did well enough on his own. Just then, Lou arrives there and Zero asks her to share some of her blood with the boy to save his life. Lou cuts her wrist and lets a red fountain spout out of it, and then Zero uses her healing power to save Leos. Soon after that, they reach the hospital clinic. Lou passed out because of blood loss, while Zero passed out because she used too much magic. Kuganov has treated them for now, and he tells Seb to stop crying, but his tears seem beyond his control at this point. He tells everyone about the strange monster he fought earlier, and Lou says that it is one of the demonic monsters that the demons created to torment humans. The strange monster disguises itself as prey, and then attacks its target with the blood-sucking spikes that grow into new monsters after some time. Zero believes that the demonic monster must only be found in the north, and if there is one so far south, it must have been brought here on purpose. She sends Yohei to investigate more, but as soon as he opens the door, he finds Hold'em, who has come to do a surprise inspection of the village. The two beastmen go to the church and discuss the details with Dan. Hold'em says that he has heard rumors about someone catching the monsters and selling them off, and the presence of one in the forest proves it. Dan decides to take Lily along and investigate the monster, and Yohei also plans to go to the nearby villages to alert them. Since both the capable warriors are going out of the village, Hold'em thinks that the security of the village will be weak. So Yohei asks him to stay behind and protect the village in their stead, and he reluctantly accepts the job. Suddenly, Zero comes barging into the room and tells Yohei that she's going to come with him. He tries to convince her to back down, citing her depleted magic, but she is his boss in the end. Soon, Holden reaches the hospital and tells the students everything that led to his being in charge of the village's security. After telling them everything, he tells them to run back to their home and is left alone with Lou. Lou is suspicious of Hold'em's timing, which coincides with the discovery of the monster, but he tells her that it is a mere coincidence because if he had planned to destroy the village, he would have already done so. He then asks her if she cannot do something about the monster herself because he knows that his master only ever relied on her help. Lou recalls Serena, Hold'em's master, who was her dear friend. Serena died protecting people, and Lou is sure that she would ask her to save the village, which was her dream project. She decides to accept the mission but asks Hold'em what her compensation would be. He replies that he will plead and beg Albus to let her access the Grimoire of Zero, and Lou gladly takes up the offer. Meanwhile, Seb tells his friends that today he learned that he must work hard to become a wizard, and that is why he needs them to teach them how to cast spells in exchange for getting their magic refilled. Kugito and Hort have no objection, and Hort even asks him to refill her magic supply with a kiss someday, but being a brickhead, he doesn't understand what she wants and shoots down her request. Just then, Holden comes there, and Hort says that she will lead him to the inn where he can rest. He tries to act cool and says that he won't go to the inn with the girl as the village population might increase, and the three students plan to file a complaint with the headmaster about her servant's behavior. Suddenly, Leo's dad arrives there and takes Seb away for a private chat. He knows that it is not Seb's fault that Leo's got injured and he even saved his life, but despite that, the dad does not want him to hang out with his son anymore. As Seb is left alone, someone attacks him from behind. It is the same witch hunter Tyron they fought in the forest earlier, and he strangles Seb and knocks him out. Seb's face is tied in a bag, and he is thrown in a speeding carriage where he hears a woman's voice asking him how long he is going to keep his power hidden. Suddenly, his forgotten memories return to him. Seb sees his mother hiding him in a safe spot and warning him to never approach a witch who has eyes like him because she will take everything from him. She locks him safely, but then suddenly, an explosion shakes the house. A power-hungry witch enters through the hole in the wall and tells Seb to come out of hiding if he doesn't want his mother to die. Seb comes out of the secret chamber, but the witch still mercilessly kills his mother in front of his eyes. Seb is left devastated at this, and the witch grabs him to steal his power. She inserts her hand into his chest and grabs his heart, letting his power flow into her. However, before she can take it out, Seb grabs her hand and overloads her with magic. The evil witch somehow takes her hand out, but is too late by then, and she meets a horrible death by being